Welcome everyone to Doga Yoga. My name is Melody. This is Arlo, our rescue who is all wet after running around in the rain. And today we're doing a beautiful Find Your Strength flow. So come to the middle or top of your mat, whatever feels good for you. Really ground down through your big toes, spread your little toes. Imagine we're turning the feet outwards a little bit. Activate the kneecaps, tuck our tailbone under, send our shoulder blades down the back. Hands beside the body. And start to ground down into your practice today. Inhale, feel the belly, the ribs, the collarbones. And exhale, soften and release. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, start to ground down into the present moment. And exhale, just let go of thoughts of the future, the past, the problem solving. Inhale, ground down, be here. And exhale, let go. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, grow a little bit taller, really hollow out the lower belly. Find length in the torso and soften. Inhale, grow a little taller, find length in the torso, hollow out the lower belly, and soften. Inhale, and exhale. I'm going to start with a warming breathing exercise to really find our core, find our strength today. So our inhale is just a rebound in this breath, and our exhale is where all the force is coming from. So I'll demonstrate, and then you can copy me. So we'll just take one deep inhale to start with, and exhale, draw our navel towards our spine, force the air out. And you'll find the inhale is just like a rebound. It just comes naturally, and exhale, you can feel it tensing and coming in. So inhale and exhale. We'll go a little faster now. Feel the core activate. Feel the heat in the body. Feel the blood flowing in your body and breath. And we'll all just come into a normal breath again. One big inhale, fill up the belly, the ribs, the collarbones. And exhale. Get all the air out, hollow out the lower belly and release. Inhale, we'll start with one big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. And exhale back to heart center. Two more, inhale. And exhale. Moving with the breath, inhale. And exhale. We'll take our arms up overhead, one big arm circle once more, fingertips touch. And exhale, we'll send our right hand forward, our left hand back, opening up to the side of the room. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, left hand forward, right hand back, opening up to the side of the room. Inhale, flowing with our breath. Exhale, opening up to the side of the room. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, shoulder blades down the back, spine as long. Inhale. And exhale, ground down through all four corners of the feet. Activate the kneecaps. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rise them up to center, fingertips high. Squeeze the biceps in towards the ears. I want us to be really active. Find our strength here. Ground down through all four corners of the feet. Squeeze the kneecaps, squeeze the glutes. Hollow out the lower belly, shoulder blades down the back. Feel the arms grow stronger and longer. And when we're ready, open up our elbows towards the side of the room, fingertips pointing back or pointing up. And you can send the fingertips back if you want. Open up here. Find your strength. Feel fierce. Get some blood pumping. Find that energy and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And release. We're going to start our flow, come to the top of our mat if you aren't already. Big inhale, up overhead, fingertips touch. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips, bent knees for our first one. So crown of the head towards the earth. Inhale, we'll rise on up, hands to the tops of the knees, push away, halfway lift, straight spine. So glutes are on here, finding length. And exhale, come back into our forward fold. Bend our knees generously, plant our hands, step back into a full plank or half plank for the first one. Shoulders and wrists are alignment, send the crown of the head forward, and exhale, lower down the chest. My blocks out of the way, chaturanga. And tuck the toes, press into the hips. We're going to send our hands towards our tailbone, clasp them, and rise on up here. A variation of our cobra. And exhale, lower. And clasp the hands, press them into the ground next to the shoulders. And send our way back into our child's pose. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, tuck the toes under if they're not already. Press into all 5 fingers, all 5 toes, and send our hips up and away for our first downward facing dog. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, soften. Inhale. And exhale. Big inhale, bend our knees, look towards our hands, take little steps towards our hands for our first one, warming up the body and folding forward. Inhale, come on up, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Place our hands on our hips here. Rise the body up halfway, squeeze the shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes, and then rise on up all the way to standing. Big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. And back to heart center. We'll go again. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips, straight or bent knees this time. Inhale, rise on up, halfway lift. The hands go to the tops of the knees, to blocks or to the fingertips, as long as we've got a nice straight spine. Fold forward once more, really relax the head down, bend the knees, plant the hands, come back to plank or half plank and go through your flow. Chaturanga, lower the chest down, untuck the toes, press into the hips, clasp the hands at the lower back and rise on up into our cobra variation. Lower down, plant the hands, come back into our child's pose for a breath, and then send the hips up and away into our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more big inhale, bend our knees, look towards our hands, pull back. Now you can step in one step, lots of steps, jump up into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Ground down through all 4 corners of the feet. Ground down through all 4 corners of the feet. Place the hands towards our hips. Rise our body up halfway so we're parallel towards the earth. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and rise ourselves up all the way into standing. Big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. And back to heart center. One more inhale. And exhale, fold forward, straight or bent legs. Inhale, halfway lift up onto the fingertips or the tops of the knees. And exhale, fold. Bend our knees, plant our hands, step or jump back to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, press into the hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, hands clasped at the lower back, cobra variation. And lower down. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders, come back into your child's pose for a moment. Make your way up into your downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Place weight into our left foot. We're going to lift our right heel high. Reach it up as far as we can. And exhale, bring our knee towards our nose and get that foot in between our hand. So good. We're going to plant this back foot down, coming into our warrior 2. So rise and up, pressing into that front big toe and sink. So our back foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat. Our tailbone is tucked. And we can make sure we can see our big toe so our front knee isn't tracking in here. So breathe here for 3 breaths. Nice and slow to start off with. Inhale, find a little bit more length. And exhale, sink. Inhale, find a little bit more length. And exhale. One more. and sink. And our next inhale, flip our front palm, come up into our reverse warrior, sink our back hand down our thigh, and breathe for 3 breaths. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale, release. Come back to your warrior 2 and make our way into our side angle pose. So our bottom arm goes on out to our knee. Our top hand raises towards the sky. We'll start off in our beginner variation for this one. 3 breaths. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale once more. Next, we're going to spiral this top hand down, frame this front foot. Now you can lower this back knee down, bring your front foot to the back, come into child's pose, or you can plant your hands and go through your flow. Plank, lower down, chaturanga, untuck the toes, squeeze the hands to the tailbone, rise the chest up, cobra variation, and lower. Plant the hands underneath our shoulders. Come back into our child's pose. Rest our forehead on the earth. We're all breathing here. And then tuck our toes under, press into our hands, raise up the hips into our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On our next inhale, press into our right foot, lift our left heel high, breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When we're ready, bring that knee towards our nose, squeeze it in, plant that foot in between our hands, lower down our back foot and rise on up into our warrior 2, sink. Breathe for 3 breaths here. Find our alignment, find our center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more and sink. Flip the front palm, come into your reverse warrior and breathe for 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale once more and release. Come into your side angle pose. Bottom arm on that knee. Lift our left hand high above us. Our right hand high above us. Sink our hips down, and we're creating a straight line from that back foot all the way to our shoulders to start with. So tuck the tailbone under, lower the hips down and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When we're ready, we're going to spiral this top hand back, frame the front foot, plant the hands, and you might lower this back knee down into your tabletop position, go and come into your child's pose, or you can go through a flow. Plank. Lower down, chaturanga, untuck the toes, press into the hips, clasp the hands at the lower back, and rise on up. And exhale, lower. Plant the hands, come into your child's pose, forehead connects with the earth, find that beautiful time of introspection. And when we're ready, tuck the toes, press into the hands, send the hips up and away into our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. We're going to go through the same thing again. Press into the left foot. Lift the right heel high. Breathing for 2 breaths. Finding length on our inhale. And exhale, softening. Inhale and exhale. When we're ready, bend that knee. Bring it towards our nose. Squeeze here. Plant that foot in between our hands. Turn that back foot over, coming into our warrior 2. Rising up and sink. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When we're ready, flip that front palm, come into our reverse warrior. Breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Make our way back in your own time into our warrior 2 and over into our side angle pose. So we can start to reach the fingertips towards the front of the room now, even lower down that bottom hand to reach towards a block or towards the ground. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Spiral this top hand down, frame that foot. Now come into your child's pose or go through your flow. plank, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, press into the hips, squeeze the shoulder blades and hands together, rise on up and lower. Plant the hands, make your way into your child's pose, touch the forehead to the ground lightly, and then make your way back into your downward facing dog. Breathe here for 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When ready, press weight into the right foot. Lift that left heel high. Hold. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach it a little higher. And exhale. When you're ready, bend that knee. Bring it in towards your nose. Round out the spine here. So nice. Get that foot in between our hands. Plant that back foot down. Warrior 2, feet heel to arch alignment. And rise on up with control. And sink into our warrior 2. So check that we're seeing our big toe press into the outside edge of this back foot. Tuck our tailbone under and find length in the spine here. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When we're ready, flip the front palm, come into our reverse warrior, breathe. Activate this back leg, activate this back kneecap. Push into the front big toe. You'll find the bend, the stretch so much easier. You can find that femininity and grace in the posture. And when you're ready, come back to your warrior 2 and make your way into your side angle pose. So your bottom arm can be on that knee. Your top hand can be reaching towards the sky or over to the room in front of you. Shoulder blade is down the back and we're revolving towards the roof. That top hand or that bottom hand can reach towards the ground. Breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When ready, spiral this top hand down, frame that front foot. Now you can lower down, come into child's pose, or go through your flow. Plank, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, press into the hips, squeeze the hands at the tailbone, squeeze the shoulder blades, raise the chest up and lower. Put the hands underneath the shoulders, make your way back into your child's pose. Connect the forehead with the earth. Find that moment of looking inwards, that moment of introspection before we come on up into our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to do something a little bit different, a little bit fun. We're going to walk our hands towards our feet. So bend your knees as generously as you need to try and get here, coming into a beautiful forward fold. Inhale, rise on up, halfway lift, fingertips or tops of the knees. And exhale, fold. Place our hands on our hips. Rise on up halfway. So we're really squeezing the glutes in towards one another. Shoulder blades are down the back. Spine is long here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Rise on up. Big arm circle up overhead. Fingertips touch. So nice. And back to heart center. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to place the weight into our left foot. Actually, I'll mirror you. I'll come this way. Place the weight into your right foot. We're going to lift up our left foot and place it on our knee. Now, we might have a coffee table or a wall nearby to help us in this endeavor. Flex this foot. Push down through all 4 corners of our right foot and send our hips back and our chest forward. So imagine we're coming into a chair, but a one-legged chair. So find length on our inhale and exhale, sink. And smile, guys. It's all good. Inhale and exhale. Now, if you've got a little bit of space, a little bit of length here, you might start to straighten that grounded leg and coming into a forward fold, planting the hands down, finding length on your inhale and exhale, softening. Inhale, send the crown of the head forward, the hips back and soften. It's kind of like a pigeon pose stretch, but in a very different way. Inhale and exhale. Now, if we've got our hands down, ground down through all 4 corners of the feet, lengthen the spine, activate the core, rise on up. So nice. Ooh, and if we fall out, that's okay. Now, plant our left foot down on the other side of our right foot. So we're crossing our legs here. So this might feel super strange. You might have to have this front leg bent. Find what feels good. Place our hands on our hips, find length in our spine here. We're just going to fold forward. So you might just come forward a little bit. You might have blocks. Find what feels good and you'll feel a really, really, really nice stretch on the right side of your ITB. So the outside band of your hip running from your knee to your hip here. Just see if you can feel that. See if you can find that and just be super gentle with your body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When we're ready, core is on. Press into all four corners of the feet. Now it feels strange when we're crossing them here. If you can look at them, they're standing the opposite way than they would. Push in, roll on up. Big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. Exhale, take the hands wide, hands on the hips, and take the feet back to normal. Give yourself a wriggle, give yourself a shake. You might sway side to side here. Just see how that is showing up in the hips and knees and ankles for you, being always careful of our alignment in our joints. We're going to press into our left foot. I'm mirroring you. So pressing into our left foot, lift up our right foot, and if you're super less, if you find that you balance way easier on one side than the other and you're way more wobbly on this side, don't worry about it. I am very much that as well, so we're not always completely even. So sink the hips back, hands forward, flex that foot, push into that knee. You'll find that activation really helps stabilize you. And find length, so core is on, the lower belly is hollow. Find that heat and soften. Find that deep, find that fierceness that we set our intention with at the start of class, and soften. Length and soften. We're going to send our hands forward if we can, straighten that back leg coming into a forward fold. Find that really juicy stretch in the hip. Breathing, send the hips back and the crown of the head forward on our inhale. Shoulder blades are down the back, and soften. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When we're ready, roll on up. We can do this all together. Hands at heart center. Now plant our right foot down, crossing our feet there. Opposite way, our big toes are to the outside. It looks strange when we look down at our feet. Hands come towards our hips. Find length and fold forward here. So with a straight spine, shoulder blades are down the back. See if you can get towards the earth. You might just keep your hands on your hips and find length when we flow here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Feel that really nice stretch in the ITB band. Inhale and exhale. Ground down through all four corners of the feet. It feels strange because they're in opposite sides when they would be. Push on up, core is on, rise on up. Big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. And take the hands wide, place them on our hips. Take our feet back. Give ourselves a wriggle. Give ourselves a shake. Woo. All right, big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. We're nearly at the end of the class today, guys. And fold forward, so nice. Inhale, rise on up, halfway lift, your version, whatever feels good. And exhale, fold. We're just going to heel toe our feet a little bit wider here. Find our space. We're going to sink ourselves down into a squat. So you might have a block handy to sit it under your hips. You might just be here bending the knees gently, or you might be able to send the tailbone towards the earth. Chest comes up, shoulder blades down the back into a beautiful yogic squat. So you might be on the tippy toes. Oh, hands in front of us. Just find that space. That can be really good. We might be able to have the soles of the feet pressing down, the big toes pressing into the earth, the tailbone tucked, the shoulder blades down the back. And just find a little bit of center. Find connection with your breath and just check in with how it's showing up for you right now. Is it deep and full? Is it shallow? Just notice and breathe. Finding length on your inhale and exhale, releasing. Inhale and exhale. Now, nothing fancy. You're just going to rock back and send one leg long and then the other, taking our legs wide. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, if you feel like you're super rounding or the legs are super bent, grab a block. Harry Potter book works awesome as well. Stick it under your tailbone and that'll help you get your hips higher than your knees, and that'll help your spine just lengthen. It's kind of like sitting on a chair. It just helps us get that straighter spine. So finding length and softening. Finding length wherever we are. Wherever we are is perfect. And softening. Find length and soften. I'm going to mirror you. Inhale, we're going to rise our left hand high, reach, just like we did before. And we're going to send our left hand towards our right foot on our exhale. So we might just plant it on our calf, on our knee, or you might be able to reach all the way to the outside edge of that foot. Just have that right hand wherever feels good for you. Might be on the knee, might be beside you to help deepen the twist. Inhale, find length and soften. Inhale, find length. Our gaze goes to the outside edge of that foot and soften. Inhale and exhale once more. Rising up super slowly. Come back to center, just with the hands beside you. Find that length in the spine and soften. And our next inhale, rise our right hand high, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, we'll reach towards the left outside side of that foot. So we might be able to get there. We might just be able to grab the thigh. See where feels good for you. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be any particular place. Just find what feels good for you to get a nice rotation in the spine. So I'm going to reach to the outside edge of my foot. My gaze goes to the outside edge of that foot, and that left hand just helps me revolve, flowing with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more big, beautiful inhale. And soften and release. Rise on up into seated. Walk the legs in, walk the feet in, and we're just going to roll on down onto our backs in our own time here. Take our time, super gentle. I'm just going to move the mic super quickly here so you can continue to hear me. Don't mind me. We're going to bring one knee into our chest and then the other, super nice and soft, and massage out the lower back by taking figure eights or just rocking side to side here. So hands are on the knees. You might wrap the arms around the knees if that feels better for you. Just gently massaging out the lower back. So nice, so nourishing. Just giving our body gentle, soft release after all the hard work you've done today. When we're ready, we pause, and the shoulder blades down the back, and send the legs high. So just point and flex the toes here with the rise and fall of your breath. We'll send the arms up as well, just rolling the wrists and ankles, wriggling the fingers, wriggling the toes. And if it feels good for you, just start to shake. Shake the legs, shake the arms, feel the muscles just hang on the bones and just release any tension. Just get it all out and then release. Come into a place of stillness and softness on the mat, allowing yourself to completely release into the earth below. Ground yourself onto your mat today. Inhale, feeling the belly, the ribs, the collarbones. And exhale, letting go of any thoughts that will distract you from the here and now. Inhale, ground. And exhale, let go. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Few more cycles of breath like this, allowing us to really release. And when we're ready, we'll send our arms up overhead, wriggle our fingers and toes, roll our wrists and ankles, and make our way onto a side that suits you, using your arm as a pillow. Just kind of bring our awareness to the world around us. And then make your way up into seated in your own time. Come into cross-legged and just find a sense of stillness here. One hand on one knee, one hand on the other. Connect with the body, connect with the rise and fall of your breath. When we're ready, we'll take one big arm cycle all together, up overhead, fingertips touch, and back to heart center. Sending a little bit of love inwards, a little bit of gratitude for you turning up on your mat today. Really good work, beautiful yogis. And sending lots of love and gratitude your way for being here with me today. Namaste.